Imagine a small town nestled in a valley and protected by a tall, towering dam. For years, the dam has held back a massive reservoir, supplying water to the community when it needed. But one day, a crack appears. It's small, almost invisible, but the townspeople notice it. A group of them gather at the base of the dam, staring at the crack. What if it spreads? One person asks. Hey, what if the whole dam collapses? Another person asks. What if the town floods? Should we evacuate? Should we call an engineer? Well, I think we should just monitor it for now. That's the know-it-all. There's one in every group. Hours turn into days and the group keeps coming back, analyzing the crack from every angle. They hold meetings, draw plans, and debate every possible scenario. But in all their analysis, they do nothing. No one calls an expert. No one tries to patch the crack. They simply stand there, trapped in their thoughts, as the crack slowly grows. One morning, a young girl walks through the town carrying a bucket of mortar, and without hesitation, she begins to patch up the crack. The townspeople were shocked. What are you doing? What if it makes it worse? What if it doesn't work? The girl pauses, looks at them, and says, what if it does? Then continues her work. Much like the townspeople, many of us spend our days staring at the cracks in our lives, fixated on our problems, doubts, and fears. We analyze every angle, we replay every scenario, and wonder about every possible outcome. But all the while, the crack grows. Overthinking, like those endless debates at the dam, doesn't lead to action. It keeps us stuck. But just like the girl with the bucket, we have the power to step in and take control. And in today's video, we'll explore how to stop staring at the cracks in your life and start patching them one by one. Overthinking is a far too familiar experience. At its core, it's a habit of excessively focusing on details, scenarios, or possibilities, often at the expense of action. It's when we obsess over things, sometimes trivial, sometimes completely out of our control. And we obsess over things to the point that it paralyzes us mentally and emotionally. And perhaps the worst part is it drains our energy, leaving us stuck, tired, and frustrated. From a scientific standpoint, overthinking is closely linked to anxiety and stress. When we overanalyze a situation, our brain works overtime, processing and reprocessing the same information. The continuous rumination can lead to physical exhaustion as our bodies stay in a heightened state of alertness, what psychologists call fight or flight mode. And the thing is, all of this is happening even when there's no actual danger. So why do we do it? Overthinking often stems from our desire to avoid uncertainty and discomfort. We feel the need to predict outcomes and control what we can't, all in the name of being smart and protecting ourselves from potential failure or mistakes. But here's the catch. No matter how much we try, we can't predict the future. And no matter how much we analyze, we can't control every situation. And that's okay. You don't have to keep trying to control everything. The good news is that while overthinking may feel like a force beyond our control, there are ways to break free. Let's get into it. Step 1, awareness. Recognizing the cycle. The first step in breaking the cycle of overthinking is just that simple. It's awareness. It's about noticing when the overthinking pattern starts to creep in. Overthinking often sneaks up on us, and we don't recognize it until we're already deep in the cycle. We can easily spend hours, sometimes days, caught in mental loops without realizing that we are wasting precious time. But here's the key. Becoming aware of when you're overthinking gives you back the power to disrupt it before it gets out of hand. Pay attention to your mental state. Are you obsessing over a past conversation, replaying every word, wondering if you said something wrong? Or maybe you're trying to predict the future. If you find yourself consumed by repetitive thoughts that don't move you forward, you're likely in the middle of overthinking. Start by keeping a journal or maybe opening up a note in your app. And when you catch yourself overthinking, jot down the thoughts that are consuming you. The very act of writing helps to create distance from the thought, allowing you to objectively assess it later on. Aim to catch yourself before the spiral takes hold. And even if you only manage it one day at first, it's about building the awareness over time. Step 2, challenge your thoughts. Reality versus fantasy. Once you recognize the cycle, it's time to challenge the very thought. Overthinking causes us to consider the worst case scenario, imagining the worst possible outcome that then paralyzes us. The problem is, these scenarios are almost always exaggerated and rarely come to fruition. Imagine this. You're preparing for a big presentation at work. Your mind starts racing. What if I mess up? What if I forget everything? What if they think I'm unprepared? But what if you pause for a moment, you stopped and asked yourself, are these thoughts grounded in reality? Think about it. Have you done the work? Are you prepared? Is there any evidence that the actual fears are true? The wiring of our brain often exaggerates the truth, and we end up thinking the worst without any solid facts to back it up. Write down the worst case scenario that's causing anxiety. Then challenge each part of it. Challenge it with questions like, what is the likelihood of this actually happening? What evidence do I have that supports or contradicts this thought? You'll often find your worst fears are simply assumptions, not facts. Step 3, take action. Move beyond the thought. Overthinking often thrives when we're waiting for all the answers, trying to perfect everything before moving forward. But the truth is, you'll never have everything figured out before taking the first step, and that's okay. Action disrupts overthinking. When you take even the smallest action, it sends a message to your brain that I am in control and I am moving forward. Action creates momentum. Momentum propels you towards progress. Progress helps you navigate uncertainty. The key here is every step you take helps move you away from the analysis paralysis and closer to tangible results. Step 4, practice mindfulness. Be present. Overthinking thrives in regretting the past or worrying about the future. But the present moment, the right here and now, is where the true power lies. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present without judgment or distraction. It's a way to quiet the endless mental chatter and create space for clarity. Studies have shown that mindfulness reduces stress and anxiety, which are often the root causes of overthinking. When you focus on the present moment, you're able to detach from the what ifs and simply be. Your brain can relax. Your nervous system can reset. So start by incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine. 5 minutes. I dare you to try this for 5 minutes in the morning. Sit quietly and focus on your breathing. When your mind begins to wander, gently bring it back to the present moment. And while you're sitting there, think of the good. Think of what you want to happen. Think of what if the desire I want comes true and how good it's going to feel when it comes true. Over time, this practice will help you cultivate inner peace. It'll help you cultivate a calmer, more focused mindset, reducing the urge to overthink. Step 5, reframe your thoughts. Overthinking stems from a fixed mindset, the belief that you must have everything figured out before you can start. But growth happens when you embrace the growth mindset, the one that values progress over perfection. Instead of overanalyzing every situation, try reframing your thoughts. Rather than focusing on the potential for failure, shift that thought. Shift your focus to the opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Instead of fearing the mistake, view it as necessary. View it as a step in the learning process. Every setback is an opportunity to grow, and every challenge carries within itself a lesson. The next time you catch yourself overthinking, pause and reframe that thought. And instead of dwelling on what might go wrong, ask yourself, how can I grow from this challenge? What can I learn from this experience? This shift from fear to curiosity is the key to help you move from paralysis to action. And there you have it. The 5 powerful steps to breaking the cycle of overthinking. Awareness, challenging your thoughts, taking action, practicing mindfulness, and reframing your thoughts. Come a little closer. Overthinking doesn't have to hold you back from living the life you want. You have tools to regain control over your thoughts and take back your confidence. I want you to remember that breaking the cycle takes time and consistency, just like your journey, and it's not an overnight fix. You're not gonna do the things I said in this video once and change your life. But if you can challenge yourself to do them repeated, the less control overthinking will have over your life. Each time you take control of your thoughts, you're one step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody who might need to hear it. Don't forget to join our community by subscribing, and remember that growth is a journey, it's not a destination. I'm in it with you, and I'll see you on the next one.